Privy, this is Salvation. I present to you Dragon Age Origins. We have here a glass phylactery.
It is begun.
Many of King Adrian's belongings have been rushed into storage, including trophies of his long reign. Among the boxes is a small glass phylactery. The areas are naturally cold. Dark shapes swirl around a slip of paper within the vials. Let's do this. The glass fractures at your touch. Another one. Would you all please? Thanks. And you can... No, no. In fact, thanks.
I shall do so. Quickly, we must fight.
Okay. Haha. Do that. No, that's not even what I wanted.
Ooh, now the fun part. I can take you deal. Bravo.
Alright, that was easy. Okay. This is definitely getting easier. And no, I'm not complaining. Alright. Ah yes, that. Here's the deal,
Of course.
where do you have to stand? Wasn't there 4 platforms? I believe there were more than 3. Perhaps not there. Then in that case, let me... This is the Throne of Orzammar. Nothing happens, okay. I clearly have to be elsewhere too. Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
Off I go. Shall we compete for
Like this? Yeah, do that.
Yes. As you say.
Would you all, please? Thanks.
attack?
Do you really wish to be here? As you say.
Do you have any abilities that... Whoa.
Okay, I love this game.
I shall do so. Immediately. As you say.
Ageless. A dual wield sword and a pretty good one too. Ah, yes. Does there anything else happen? No. No. Okay. Yeah, that's something I was after. That should have been the key to the city quest, I believe. Except, perhaps not. I haven't any idea. What? That. Yes, that is where we came from. We've gone through here, and now we can
It is begun.
not go here. And why is that? Where is someone I can talk to? Where is Bartek? Or even my weird sister? Do I have to speak to the guard?
No one enters the prince's estate without an invitation.
Okay. My sister said she would be waiting somewhere for me. That's the assembly, and I'll go there eventually. That's the shaper, and I'll go there eventually too. Let me see. Bandler. The leadership elders assembly is like the... Okay, I'll do that. The Mother's Hope is that. Quest Chant in the Deeps is that. Quest Precious Metals. Okay, and Watergar. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Speak to Prince Bhelen, second in command. Second in command, find assembly chamber. Okay. Let me first go to the Shaper Raid.
It is begun.
This is the Shaper Raid. This is pretty much a library.
Thief! Who would dare take from the memories?
Who indeed?
Warden, I'm outraged. A thief in the Shapered. What have we been reduced to?
Did you get a good look at him?
I did. He was bald, with the most garish brand across his head. Almost like he took pride in being castless. Imagine. No offense, Warden.
Yeah, right.
He's probably in the slums somewhere. As if he'd find a buyer for a stolen tome in Dust Town. They couldn't know the value.
Alright. A new quest. Thief in the House of Learning. Okay. Shaper. Book.
As you say.
Ota.
Oh, pardon me. Were you looking for a particular volume? Not that I could really help. I don't know the libraries very well. I'm just doing some research.
What kind of research?
I was looking for something about the Orton Tig. It was lost during the last Blight, and there aren't many records left. They were a noble house once, descended from the Paragon Orton, who composed the grand epic of the Seven Brothers and the Ortonic Symphony. My mother's family believes they were descended from Kalana Orton, who was training in Orzammar when the Tig fell. I'm even named for the house, Orta. Unfortunately, any records would be buried in the Tig's ruins, somewhere in the deep roads.
I could try to find them.
You're castless! What do you know
Whoa.
about fighting Darkspawn? There aren't even any expeditions planned until they settle this election. Otherwise, you need special permission from the Assembly, or some great lord.
I'm a Grey Warden.
A Grey Warden? Mother always said that if anyone could find the Tig, it was the Wardens. I hear Prince Bhelen and Lord Harrowmont have both been sending out small teams these days. Yes, if you can find the Tig in any records, that could do it. That could prove I'm a noble. If you could. Maybe now that you're looking. It's almost too much to hope.
She's kind of sweet, and what with Dwarven society being the way it is, you know, well.
When I last walked this hall, Endrin was king and Orzammar was at peace. The memories often speak of the swiftness with which change overtakes us. But it is different to see it firsthand. I apologize, Warden. I should not burden a stranger with such thoughts. I am Zebor, the Shaper of Memories.
Shaper of memories?
The Shaper it guards Orzamar's knowledge. We have preserved in Lyrium all of the records of Dwarven history. The memories record all. They are how we know to which family a child owes life, how we trace lost Tigers. They ensure we forget nothing of our past, good or bad.
I would like your permission to open a chantry here.
That is an odd request. Have you grown so fond of the Surfacer's ways in your brief absence?
I come on behalf of Brother Berkeley, a cleric of Redcliffe.
I thought so. This is not the first time he's made this plea. My answer to Brother Burkle hasn't changed. So I ask you the same. On what basis would you have me insult the ancestors and overturn 2,000 years of tradition?
The chantry charities could greatly aid Orzammar.
What sort of charities do you mean?
Oh, that's difficult. The chantry will educate children of all castes.
I am not certain this is in Orzamar's best interests. Our castes have served us well, but it's possible this service could benefit our people. Very well, he may hold a prayer meeting as he requested, if not build a new temple to his god. At least the words would come from one of our own. Now, is there anything more?
Tell me some of Orzamar's history.
Perhaps the books here can make up for the lack of attention you paid your elders. We were a great empire once, and our land stretched through the deep roads. Kal Shirak was capital then, but we lost too many battles. We lost our golems, and we lost our territory. Now the empire is simply ruined tunnels filled with darkspawn.
How did you lose your golems?
The Paragon Caridin, a smith of unsurpassed genius, invented the golems. For years they were our weapon against the darkspawn. One golem is worth a dozen dwarves in battle, but Caridin's Tig is far into the deep roads. When it fell, we lost his secret to creating golems. There are books about it along these walls if you would read more.
What's a Tig?
They are to us what a colony is to surfacers.
Where's Kal Shirak?
At the other side of the old empire. During the last blight, the kings of Orzammar knew they couldn't hold everything. They sealed the deep roads, abandoning everyone still trapped in far-flung settlements. It was the only way to survive. Kal Shirak is the only other city to outlast the blight. We only rediscovered them recently, and they still haven't forgiven us.
How did you lose your golems?
The Paragon Caridin, a smith of unsurpassed genius.
Oh, we already had that.
When it fell, we lost his secret to creating golems.
Enough history, let's talk basic
There are
Orzammar
books about
again.
it. I will settle your mind if I can, Warden.
How did the caste system come to be?
According to our legends, 7 brothers founded our empire. The youngest, Bloadlik, was the wisest and was chosen king. His children formed the noble caste. The eldest, Giachet, trained his sons to defend their king. They became the warrior caste. Shatgyar founded the artisans. Orzatyar forged our first swords. It was Orzammar who dug the mines that became our city's foundations. The twins Koapar and Noct both founded trading houses, but Noct was wounded in battle. On his recovery, he swore to serve his brother's sons.
What about the casteless?
The casteless descend from criminals and those repudiated by their own families, or who chose to go to the surface and live by human laws. They have no ancestors to guide them and no families to claim them. They should not have been born. Their parents defied their shame and brought cursed children into the world. It's better they die young.
Is that what should have happened to me?
I'm sorry. I can speak with you as a warden, but I cannot discuss your belief that you have previously been to Orzammar. Your presence here was not recorded in the memories. You did not exist.
Son of a... See, and that's the problem with Orzammar. The chant in the deep. I'm supposed to tell the guy that it is alright for him to open the chantry. There is a scribe here. I don't think he does anything. There's a book. There's another book. And I believed there was another quest to be found here. And I do believe our next codex session will be weird. Hello? Thank you. Go away, Win! I remember vaguely. That there is another quest here, but maybe not.
I shall do it.
Book for Win. Right.
Ah, you return, Warden. Is there more you would know from Orzamar's memories?
Let's talk about Ostagar, Lord Shaper.
Ask, and I shall do my best to answer.
I've got no more questions.
Your presence has been recorded in the memories. I wish you well.
Right, let me, I think there was one of these others, the Shapers.
Shh. I'm doing very important work.
Yeah, sure you are.
I hope you find what you're looking for.
I did think that one of them has a quest for me.
Are you with that warrior girl who's always here?
Warrior girl?
Perhaps you should stand over there instead.
Thanks. Gloves. Nope. But no. Yes.
Oh, marvelous.
All right. Whoa. Thanks. All right. We are supposed to go to the assembly chamber. Let's do that then.
The Grey Warden. I've heard a lot about you from Rika. I hear you seek the aid of Orzamar's finest.
I need aid against the Blight.
Yes, the treaty. I've seen it in the Shaper's libraries. Now the difficulty is that the treaty only compels our king, and we are sadly lacking one of those right now.
Is there some way I could help?
My prince is the rightful king, but a disappointing number of lords back the upstart Harrowmont for the throne. If you show your support for Prince Bhelen, he might be able to assist with your requests.
Can I talk to Bhelen?
You must understand, Harrowmont hides behind his good reputation while sending spies and assassins. Bhelen can't know who to trust. It's been like a knife in the heart for Bhelen to see so many of his father's men stand with the usurper.
I promise I'm no spy.
Would you be willing to prove that? Harrowmont has engaged in a campaign of bribery and coercion to ensure that every house serves him. But if a neutral party, a stranger, were to approach certain key members, perhaps with irrefutable evidence of Harrowmont's deception.
Irrefutable evidence, which I suppose you have?
I'm certain my Lord Prince would show his gratitude.
What kind of evidence?
Harrowmont promised the same portion of his estate to two different Deshers, Lady Dace and Lord Helmy. Harrowmont can't possibly grant it to both of them, but they won't find out until after the vote is cast. I have copies of the promissory notes Harrowmont gave each of them. Once they see those, they should both reconsider their votes.
I'll find both Lady Dace and Lord Helmy right now.
Lady Dace doesn't leave the quarter much, but Lord Helmy's adventurous, likes to spend his time at tapsters in the Commons. Remember, don't tell them you got these papers from me. You learned of them and drew your own conclusions.
Okay. New quest. Alright. And here's the deal, we don't know if they're real.
I
Do we?
knew Vartag could help you. And just wait until you meet Prince Bhelen. You'll love him.
Do you know anything about Lady Days?
Not a lot. She's supposed to be very practical. She doesn't care about larger issues, only how her own house is affected. Vartag speaks favorably of her dedication.
Is there anything I should know about Lord Helmy?
His mother is getting on in years and gave up her assembly seat to him. Many of the nobles think he's a disappointment. He actually thinks the lower classes are people. I could almost like him if he wasn't such a vocal supporter for Harrowmont.
How is Vartag related to Bhelen?
He isn't, but Gavorn is a very minor house and Bhelen has always favored them. Vartag's son was fostered with Iduken, which was a great honor. Bhelen promised that when little Indrin is 12, he'll spend a year there in exchange.
Tell me about little Indrin.
Finally you ask. He's beautiful, with the biggest brown eyes, and so smart. He already knows who his father is. I'm sure his first word will be Prince. But you're giving me that look. I can take a hint. Finish your business and we can talk later.
I should get going.
Off with you then. Far be it for me to keep you from service to my house. I still love saying that. My house.
You see, the deal is with... I still don't know if... Can
The
I?
assembly is in session. Enter quietly if you wish to observe.
I do.
Your mind has gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the surface trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
Leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll see your head on a pike first.
Deshers, lords and ladies of the assembly. I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandalore, Bhelen's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
I suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace.
Enough! The assembly is in recess until the members can regain control of their emotions.
Oh?
Stone-forsaken fools and dusters. I'm sorry. This is the assembly of the clans. Only Deshers and occasional guests of state are allowed in.
You don't recognize the Grey Warden?
Forgive me. I am so exhausted. I completely forgot about the message from the gate guard. Welcome back to Orzammar, Warden. A great deal has changed in recent days. Respect for your role is great, but you won't receive a proper hearing until we have a king on the throne.
A blight is coming.
Troubling, but it will still seem distant compared to the empty throne. The assembly is blind to all else.
Is there any way I can break this stalemate?
I must admit, Warden, I am at a loss myself. It lies with Prince Bhelen or Lord Harrowmont, and they are slow to trust anyone in these uncertain times. I only wish there was more I could do for you.
Alright, so our next steps will lead us to these two nobles. And now things get interesting. I don't know if they do yet, but at one point, after we have decided on someone, they do.
You left so abruptly, I didn't think I'd see you back. Do you have more time to talk now, Warden?
Can I do both quest lines? I believe I remember there was a bug of some sort that it doesn't go away, but that would be the least of my problems. I would speak with Lord Harrowmont.
In an ordinary time, Lord Harrowmont would be honored to meet you. Unfortunately, we've already caught more than one of Bhelen, so I'm afraid I won't be able to take your word. If you want to speak to Harrowmont, you will need to prove he can trust you.
How can I prove I'm not working for Bhelen?
That's a generous offer. If you mean it, you might attend the proving today. The Deshers take it very seriously. And unfortunately, Bhelen found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Harrowmont's best fighters into stepping down.
Alright. We've already had that conversation.
Bhelen would never work with anyone who humiliated
I
him
don't
in
want
that
to
way.
start picking sides.
Then I'm afraid your only choice is to wait until there's a winner. Lord Harrowmont cannot risk his life working with someone of unproven loyalties. If you change your mind, let me know. The proving is this afternoon, and Lord Harrowmont could certainly use you on his side.
New quest allows trust the first task. I do believe that we can, but he refuses to move with you. I don't even know if we can do both quests, and I will not risk screwing this up. The deal is, you're under a bit of pressure here,
Lord
aren't you?
Harrowmont is a weak man, and he will be a weak king. Yes.
I've heard better.
News of the hour. Considering a dissolution of the ancient clans. He refuses to comment in the assembly.
Yes, he would at that.
It'll be 2 years tomorrow. By all the holy sodding ancestors.
Where is Lady
How
Dace?
can you people just ignore that?
She in there, perhaps? Oh, no. The deal is I don't know where she is.
It is begun.
Wait, is she that? Yes, that is she.
What do you want? Are you one of those tiresome noble hunters? Neither my sons nor I are interested.
I'm seeking a Grey Warden.
Ah, such a noble profession. Cleaning up whatever darkspawn stragglers make it to the surface. You must be very proud.
You might want to look at these papers.
Well, this isn't exactly a surface broadsheet. Where did you get these? Never mind. It is true enough, but there's nothing I can do about it. This deal was made on behalf of our entire house. Only my father can revoke it.
Where is he? I'll bring these to him.
He is leading a deep roads expedition,
Lord,
trying
yes.
to secure an ancient thaig. It's unlikely he'll be back before the election, but perhaps this vote is important enough for you to brave the tunnels to tell him? The Dace family would be in your debt.
How would I know where to find your father?
He was searching an old Idukan site. He left me with this map, in case his expedition never returned. I'll give you a pass as well. Usually, no one is allowed past the front lines. Does that mean you'll go?
Yes, I'll leave right now.
So Bhelen's victory means enough for you to risk your life. How interesting.
Yeah, here's the deal. You are in a bit of a personal thing here. As a dwarf noble, it's obvious who you side with. If you know the noble origin, you would never side with Bhelen. Who are you, anyway?
Can you believe it? Ogren's barely even warrior caste anymore, and he just clomps in here like he's entitled.
Who is Ogren?
Ogren's a drunken wretch. He comes up here 2-3 times a week, hounding people to lead some suicidal rescue mission after Branka. Gets quite violent about it. I'd be scared if they hadn't practically gelded him after he killed young Lord Mino.
Who is Branka?
The only paragon in the last 4 generations. Quite an honor for a girl from the Smith caste.
How did she become a paragon?
She invented a smokeless fuel that let the Smith caste increase their output by nearly 1/3. Deaths from the Black Lung also dropped. The Assembly said she had the favor of the ancestors and declared her a paragon. They moved Branka, Ogren, and all their relatives to the noble caste and founded a new house in her name.
Branka was married to that drunk?
Well, before she was a paragon, she was just a smith, and Ogren was one of the best warriors of his generation.
Why did Branka go into the deep roads?
Chasing some old treasure. She was quite secretive, outright rude, really. She said she never asked to found a house, that she didn't care about politics, and that we were too self-absorbed to defeat the Darkspawn. She actually threatened anyone who said they'd come after her.
What were you and Ogren arguing about?
It's been 2 years since Branka left.
No one has ever stayed in the deep roads that long and survived. The search teams who went out found nothing, but Oghren wants to keep risking lives searching.
Why does Oghren care so much about Branka?
She's still his wife, isn't she? Even if she took their entire house into the deep roads and abandoned him.
Is that what you two were arguing about, Branka? No, that's what we already had a conversation. I should get going now.
If you see any guardsmen, tell them Oghren was at it again.
I didn't even notice Oghren was here in the first place, but apparently he was. Let's get going. Why didn't I notice that? Doesn't matter. Okay, my timer rang, so I think I'm done. This was Salvation, Dragon Age Origins. Beweite.